For many, this is a simple question of hair, dreads, and locks. But for the Tyrons, this goes beyond that. It's about principle. It's about religious protection for religious belief. And it's about the protection of the Constitution that they enjoy against discrimination in whatever form it may come. The High Court Human Rights Division continues with the case involving Tyrone and his admission or application to Achimota School for admission into the senior high school level. Now, we are seeing a trend here where the school is making the argument that it is not in their place to be sued or to sue. And so it is not in their place to be responding to the application that is before the court in these times. They prefer that the Attorney General's department would be the one speaking with them. The court this morning, on Friday, ordered the parties involved to submit their written legal arguments in the matter by the 28th of this month for hearing to begin on the 30th of this month. But let's ask the family again how all this is coming to them, and we will start with the young man who is supposed to be in school and is not in school in pursuit of this particular principle, this particular agenda. And we ask him, how do you feel about all of this? You should have been in school.
Yeah, I should. So keeping staff school, trying to make a substitute by learning other books and keeping up with what they're learning at school. But I'm trying to take stuff easy, even though it's not really, but I am.
Are you able to tell us what exactly you are learning?
Okay, with their books, I was to offer general science at Achimota School, so I'm learning their notes, physics, biology, chemistry, and all those subjects before I'm admitted.
When you say their notes, you mean the notes provided by Achimota School to its students?
Okay, I have friends who are also offering general science, but not at Achimota. And I think they are all one school, one form of school. So I'm learning their notes, not Achimota's notes.
One would say you already feel confident with what you are doing. You seem to not be missing anything at all. Is there even the need for your parents to go through this legal battle?
Well, I would say there is a need, as long as these rights are not instilled in our constitution, because looking at this, some also raise this point that it's not even worth arguing if a child should be admitted if they have dreadlocks or something like that. Those are some of the reasons, but at the moment, I think it's worth it that we carry on this legal battle.
But whether you go to Achimota or not, you are giving yourself the education. And whether you go to Achimota or not, you may be able to get into another school. So again, is it worth going through all of this?
Yeah, I still think so. It's worth going through all of this. Because even though we might get another school, go to other schools and not Achimota, but as long as it's about rights, I mean, we should have been admitted. If we qualified already, we were placed there by the CSSPS, so we should have been admitted as per equally other kids. So not being admitted, then there's some form of discrimination, if I'm correct. So I think it's worth it, the battle.
The court ruled in an earlier application filed by your lawyers for Achimota School to give you temporary admission, and the court ruled that this would be prejudicial to the case, since the end game, in essence, would be for you to get into Achimota School. So, from what you are going through now, you are already having the education, you are doing well by yourself or on your own. You won't fault the decision that the court made earlier.
Well, the decision the court made earlier, from a legal standpoint, she meant if Achimota or the first respondent isn't there, then she can't rule. Well, I think that was her ruling though, but with me being home, I think I'm keeping up with everything.
But being home, is it affecting the quality of the education you should have been receiving?
Well, not really. It's not really affecting because I've done it before. Yes, back at high school, there was a time I had to stay home and learn. That was when I scored the aggregate 6. So in a sense, I haven't done it this much though, but I have done something similar before. So that makes me confident enough.
But you must be missing out on something. The social interactions that you would have otherwise been having with your colleagues, the friends you would have been making, the other interactions maybe with teachers who would have given you extra guidance from what your parents are offering you.
Well, fact for fact, I would say I'm missing all those kind of social interactions because education alone, like being in an institution, it's not only about learning. Social interactions, how you meet people, how you communicate with other people are all part of it.
If you had the opportunity to talk to the head of Achimota School again, how far you have come now based on what you have seen in court or heard in court already, if you had the opportunity to tell her one thing now, what would it be?
Achimota's motto says that they all may be one. And I believe the basic motto, the basic idea behind the whole motto is about unity. And I don't think the founders of the school are looking forward to that they all may be identical, as in cutting your hairs to appear just like everyone. It's that they all may be one, unity. We live together in this nation as one without having to cut our hairs to go anywhere except Achimota.
Finding strength in diversity. Let me speak briefly with your father, and I'm asking him, so far so good with the court, wouldn't you say?
We're waiting to see what's going to happen on the 30th. But I think it's also, in a way, a very simple matter that could be resolved easily. You know what I mean? Because Achimota being a public place, like Mashanti say, something in the tree, you know, that yeni hiansana yeni fata. But in this sense, yeni fatansana yeni here. You see me now? And I think we are in an age where we should think more about how people think. Because everything we're doing in life now, it's about how smart people's brains are. You know, so if the children have such good grades, or I would say they are smart kids. Because when we went there to check the results, the placement, we found aggregate 30. They were still on the board. You understand? And that
has been admitted into the school.
Yeah, they were there. Admit. You see me now. So if kids are smart, then it's something that we have to encourage and try to help them out. You see. But if it's just about hair, based on hair, I don't know what the morality of this hair thing is. Because as we see us now, do we smell or do we look bad?
Not at all.
That is the only thing that someone could say, okay, the Rasta people, they look like this, they smell like this or something. But that is not the case. So what is the problem? You see,
I think one of the key issues that came up in the course of the discussion was keeping up your boy's ability to keep up with the timelines and how much time he's going to be spending, you know, keeping up the hair, ensuring that it is well kempt and all of that. You are talking about outlook.
Yeah, but what they say, that for me is ridiculous, because there are women also in the same schools with such hairs, you know, braided. What do they do to their hairs? You don't go every morning to wash your hairs. Some women even keep their hairs for over a month. You understand? So what are they talking about? For me, it's senseless. It's not a proper argument. You know what I mean? It's not a smart argument. If they have something else to say, then it will be cool. But keeping up what? Do they have to go to a salon or what? You see what I mean? Because we have our hairs also tied or, you know, kept in our caps, and we are cool with it. So what do they mean by, do they go to wash their heads every morning or what? I mean, it's just as usual as everybody keeps themselves. You see, there's also people who don't have dreadlocks or have even short hairs, and they stay so long in the bathroom and in front of the mirrors and trying to. So it's not about that, you know what I mean? So I think it's not a quality argument if they come up with that. You see me now? It's for me, it's beating about the bush.
Thank you so much. You have heard both father and son, and at the background is the other family that is also involved there in Krabias. And indeed, bound by a common fate, found in the same fight, they come to court shoulder to shoulder, hand to hand, to fight the system they describe to be unjust and to ensure that their wards get the best education or benefit from the best education that Achimota School promises. From the High Court here in Accra, I am Sixtus Don Ulo for Citi News.